Right.
So we're having like a chat. So that's the whole thing. So
We're on there. We should be on together.
we should be
Excuse
on
me.
there.
You just have a look at that screen, just see we're both on there. Yeah. Cheers, man.
I think we're both on there.
Good?
Good.
Cheers.
Good. Excellent.
Cheers. Better take one of them pints out the road like you look like
Exactly.
alcoholic.
So when's it running? Is it like a clip?
It's on now.
Is it on now? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we just edit it and do what we want.
Oh right. Okay. Excellent. So we edit it. So
It's me and you, Tom, together,
me
friends.
and you, me
Friends.
and you. Well, it's nice meeting up on Christmas or nearly Christmas.
It is nearly Christmas,
Nearly
actually,
Christmas.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just come from the big Gibbs do.
Right.
Pop round to Houston to say hello.
Yeah. And how did that go?
Very good night.
Very good.
Great to see all the guys and ladies off Twitter.
Good.
Few too many sherbets,
I
to say the
bet.
least for me.
I bet. Well, what was I doing? Oh, getting up to no good, probably. Seeing a few lady friends, so. But I don't think anybody wants to know about that.
No, not
They're
not your
not,
life.
not on the oil and gas and mining sector, so.
Yeah, but you've come away from that though.
Well, yeah, well, what I've basically decided to do is I moved into commercial property. Now, people don't really know this about Chris Abm, is basically through my sort of family trust and relatives, we were one of the biggest holders of commercial property all over Britain. People don't know that. So
You put it up in your blog though in January.
yes, I did, but no one ever listens. I think the thing is about commercial property is people yawn and think, oh, commercial, I'm a sort of, I'm on Twitter and I can make 100% in a day and all this sort of malarkey, and why are you bothering with, 20% to 30%? But commercial property is, you can use leverage. We're basically in physical commercial property. That's offices, factories, all this.
Oh, so you
kind
do
of thing.
commercial?
Yeah, well,
Totally
that's
commercial.
Totally commercial.
All right,
so
yeah.
it's not a buy to let or that kind of thing. So that's like income and basically income and the growth, and it goes up a huge amount, and you can use the leverage, and over the years and years and years it's done very well. But I've been moving in that for a long time, but I've just felt that my passion is always going to be oil and gas, as you know. We were in the oil and gas going back, when the oil was up to
$140,
exactly.
yeah. We had a lot of good deals.
We had a good deals. You can remember Excite in 2012, 1,000% return. Rockhopper in 2010, 1,000% return.
Happy days.
These were, Nautical,
Sweet.
400%. All these. This is how dire it was. My last brilliant. I think it was hurricanes about 100%. The trouble, 100% return, you remember when they drilled last year?
Yeah.
The trouble is, a lot of the things, the market isn't anticipating anything. It's just looking at good news and saying, okay, let's just give it 5%, and if it's bad, it's 90% down straight away. And because the reason is because I'm a bull, I'm always a bull, but I feel that oil, Brent, the worst case is $30. I hope we're not going to get anywhere near that. I'm not saying it's going down there because that's another 30% drop. I'm hoping it's going to stay here and bottom. But the good news is, even if I'm correct in the spring, and that's the worst case, we are near the bottom. So, in my personal opinion, by the time April comes, that will be the bottom. Just like 2008 was about $30. And I think then, it will start going back up steadily. I'm also bullish, funnily enough, on gold a bit now, because I think I'm one of these people that think when the US interest rates rise, at the moment the US dollar is going way high because everybody's anticipating gold's going the other way. Now, if you look back into history, and funny enough, Jim Mellon's the same theory as this. I think
he has actually. I was telling him last Saturday
on
the
your
Golden
thing,
Bears,
exactly. And what's going to happen is the dollar's going to just come down, and gold's going to go back up because of all these debt implications. And that's going to be another interesting area. But coming back on to, I'm very negative on copper and all these other sort of commodities.
Well,
But
it's funny you should mention that because when I was obviously the man
Yeah,
on
yeah,
Saturday, when you talk to these companies, no matter what they're doing, put to the market,
Yeah.
it doesn't reflect it.
no, it doesn't
They
matter.
will not reflect it. The
I mean,
RNSs, the good news, the warns, the markets will not recognise
well,
it.
I know the worst one.
Shocking.
The worst one must be that I can see at the moment, just to highlight how depressed the market is. Must be rock copper. I mean, I'm in a bit with rock copper. Rock copper is now. Last time I looked at the screen, was it 29p? I mean, cash value at the end of this year is over 30.
And they've swallowed the profit.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Net asset breakup value of sea line's £1.20. In some of the reports. And don't forget, tax down there. People don't forget all the Falklands, 500 feet, no infrastructure, and all this nonsense. The reason it's cheap down there is the tax. It's the lowest.
It's cheap to produce.
It's cheap to
Cheap
produce.
to
It's
produce.
because there's no tax down there. That's why they do. And there's sea line. And the other thing is, Isabel, when that comes in, and it's going to come in because they've already found the oil there.
Yeah.
Now we're doing the cable deal. They've got about, I think it's about 65%. That is going to absolutely, it should in a normal market go through ballistic, but what's actually really pushed it down is OD is nearly out, and he's nearly out. It was down 3% about, I think it was an RNS a month ago, and I've noticed since then he's heavily been selling, and people like UBS and all these others, Fidelity, are starting to buy. So in my opinion, we've only got, maybe he's already out, but I think less than a couple of weeks, and then I think in January that's going to be more positive. So I want to try and look at positive stocks, but I wanted to highlight it just shows you what's a negative. That stock, because I remember in 2010, that stock, I sold that stock, I think £4.95.
I remember. Honestly, excuse me.
It
was absolutely staggering. Back in 2010, the Falklands was so volatile.
I know.
There was money to be made for fun.
Oh, exactly. So
It was unreal.
exactly, it was unreal. So I mean, if you look at other stocks, oh gosh,
What about like example MXO?
MXO. I'm the second biggest shareholder,
Okay, but what I'm saying is, you look at them. You look at obviously they've got the 5% in Nigeria,
Exactly.
and you look at the licensing. That's coming around now about the 15th of this month, December 2015.
2015.
Just in case you watch this 2 years time.
In 2015. Well, actually, the license is in 2 weeks' time. December the 15th.
So they're looking.
Oh, that's going to go. I mean,
They're looking quite good at it.
well, if you look at based on the, I mean, that's slightly. If you look at the charts, because it's such a small cap, if you look at the charts, that's got a. I would feel it's going to go definitely back to. I think it tops out about 5p. If you look at these sort of, if you go back a little bit, it spikes to 5p. So even though the oil price is terrible, I think it's, if I recall, it's $30 or $31 all in cost of the AJ. That is very good, but it's going up not because of the AJ. It's going up because of these really superior licenses. And the other thing, of course, is what's dragged that down is the worry that there was going to be another placing. Now, if people have read on the RNS, they're doing a bond, and they're sorting it all out soon. So that's all. So there's no reason the share price is going up. It's just a question of how much it goes up. But all I'm saying is, if you look at the charts, it looks like it's going back to the 5p region, because that's where the charts point on that one. I mean, another one, funny enough, in this sort of area, and I think it's something a few people have touched on, is Sirius. That's another one. I'm not sort of, I haven't exactly got any position in that one, but I know a lot of people are talking about it.
It's unbelievable. The RNS that came out last Monday, the people who were joining the boards.
Exactly.
And I've said it to everybody on Twitter, you can stay outside, you don't have to come in now.
No.
I think it's 0.37.
Well,
but if they get the debits, if they can go,
well, we know
raise
that
capital.
Well, I've actually spoken to the actual board, Bobo and things, and what they're basically saying is that they're, you know, from what I've been looking and reading and seeing on the Tip TV and what we all saw the interview and everything, is they're going to hopefully get, and in the RNS, it's alternative financing, that's put in the RNS, it's not going to be a shared, you know, this well that they're looking at.
They're going to go to the institutes.
Well, basically, it's going to probably be like a bond, you know, bond, just like what MXO. It's the same thing. The other thing, so that's how they'll do it. Or they might come in with a farm in as well. But there's two ways they're doing it. But the interesting thing is they're going drilling in the first quarter next year. And the thing is with this thing that people don't know, all in cost, it's not even 31, it's 25. That's unbelievably low.
And it's in 28 feet of water. The infrastructure's all around
Exactly.
I've backed this share. In fact, I think the share will multi-bag next year.
Well, it's something I'm looking to sort of add because and get into because it's the Chevron thing. I mean, Chevron drilled this in the 80s, and I think it was producing 2,800. Now with the same technology, we're talking about 5,000, 7,000, but that's in my opinion. I mean,
and by the way, but they drilled one zone.
I know.
They only went to one zone, so it's a multi-zone drill.
I know.
So,
and I think the cap is something ridiculous. I can't. I mean, it's too late at night to get my computer out, but it's 5 million or 5.5 or something like. It's ridiculous.
It's just you look at the board, and everybody who's on board. As if they're stacking all the dominoes.
But if you look, I'm not having a debate about CEB on this thing. But if you look at CEB, I think that
just changed the name, by the way.
What did they?
No, that came out after 4 o'clock today.
Oh, really? Did it?
It was set
I've
tonight.
been partying with lots of.
I know, but I missed it actually. But when they went to do the nights, by the way, I can't even recollect the name actually.
Oh, right.
But anyway, they've changed the name or something.
Right. But
So,
what I was trying to
anyway,
say with that
CEB.
one, but what I was saying is that's done particularly well, and that is a 9 million cap, but it hasn't, you know. I mean, this what we're talking about seriously is a 5 million cap, and it's got all the drilling, the actual rates that it needs is something like is peanuts what they need to drill, and that's coming down all the time for this one drill, and they can easily get it through, if you read the RNS, alternative funding, and that means doesn't mean a blooming share issue. That means just a bond. So they did
the fundraise,
and because they've got a full development fund. So that was right.
They did it 0.4, but. Talk about the CB thing, I know.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
No, but we talk about that.
People think, I mean, I better put my hand up here. People, it's a bit of speculation because I know everybody, always has a bit of a rumour about Chris and he doesn't like CB. I got nothing against CB. I just think it's, and I congratulate everybody in it but I just
it's done exceptionally well.
Exceptionally well from 2 to
0.4 the place was.
Exactly, 2 million captain, 9 million captain. But I'm just saying that,
by the way, they've got a rate.
Fundamentally,
I was speaking to some guys tonight, they've got maybe just under 7 million cap, 400k in the bank. They're going to have a place in this. By the way, everybody knows they're going to have a place, and there's no two ways about it. But not that I know, but I'm thinking maybe 5 million, might be more. And you'll be looking maybe, when you come back to that, maybe 0.8, somewhere around there. But what they can do is, to offside that is, they can do assets. They can bring assets plus the placing in one RNS. They can do that, but on a reverse takeover, they can be locked down for months.
I know.
That's the problem.
That is the problem.
That's
what else? I know. So that was the flavour of the month. What was else?
That's me being honest.
Well, exactly. But let's move on. But I think the people who have been in it, you played it masterfully. Well done for you.
Yeah, by the way,
400%. That's good. But,
fantastic in this market.
But on the other hand, it's not the best one this year, was it? Best one was New World Oil and Gas, and we were both in that one. I was a bit. I don't know whether we can say this on video because we better not, because the powers that be might just write me another letter. But basically, I was the one in all the national press
Who got you in there, Chris?
I just don't know.
I don't know who led you down that path.
I don't know, but we're not going to say on camera. But
That was our own fault.
was it?
Well, it was our own fault because, like, a lot of people don't know what we get up to, you know what I mean?
No,
Because we trade together. And the New World Oil thing, we did what we did. Was it April, May time? And we did get it right. We got it right. We said. By the way,
But it was a genuine mistake.
I can say it on camera.
Yeah.
I seen the squeeze, I seen the flipping, I seen the forward selling, I seen it.
Yeah.
A mile off.
Exactly.
And obviously I spoke to you.
But the thing was,
you didn't realise.
I didn't realise the
truthful on
sums.
camera now. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
when we were doing what we were doing, we were thinking, Chris, going to get 10% of the company.
Exactly, which I thought was 250,000,
Yeah.
not 50%.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and even the Nomad, to be fair though, even the
Jesus
Nomads signed off, thought Chris was right. So, it all, it all went, it all ended up thing. But I remember on my trading account when it went to 70p, my actual
0.7, yeah, 0.8 actually, it went to 0.8. It went to 0.8
Well,
actually.
0.7,
Yeah.
my profit was £4 million, and 0.8, my profit was 5 million.
I had about 10 bob at that time, by the way. Now, yeah. I had about 10 bob, and I did sell.
Yes.
Same as Metal Target.
Yeah.
They're 6%. I was just telling Paul and Cameron tonight, actually.
Yeah.
We were having a laugh about that.
Oh right, you're laughing at my expense,
No,
Mo.
no, but the point is, what a lot of people don't know, right?
I was in the Daily Mail, Do you know
I've
what
seen
people,
it, I've
do you know
seen
what
it.
people never
I've
realise?
seen it.
We better admit this now because
Right, what did we
this
do?
is a secret. Well, I told you afterwards, but the BBC phoned me up and I was going on breakfast TV
For God's sake.
on that day,
no.
and that was basically stopping the tape, so the powers to be bollocked me, I think. So.
Yeah, but right. Remember, by the way, LSC share talk, friend for a few years. We're having a frank conversation
Frank
here.
conversation.
But the point being
It's
is,
a late night show, so
It is, but you can tell it's a late night show.
Late night show, but it's got the Christmas tree in and the nice. It's a bit sort of Chris Oilish, you see. It's a bit like the
I
castle.
know Tom will love this.
The
When Tom,
castle in London, basically, isn't it?
when Tom watches this, he'll love this, Tom.
I can sit an article. Chris Oil market review. By the way, Tom, if you're having a look at this, and I know you will be. This Chris Oil market abuser has done wonders for my girlfriend life. I get about 3 girls to come up to me now. Say, are you the Chris Oil? We want to go out with you. So I've got a big list now.
The problem I've got, I was drinking with Tom last Friday.
Right.
And Zach, so like, Zach, love the Swiss cheese.
All right. Yeah.
But anyway, back to New World Oil. But the point being is, well, a lot of people don't know, being a serious note is,
Yeah.
we did what we did and we got out.
Exactly.
And Chris, what market abuser? Your shares never settled,
No.
so you could not sell.
No, not at that stage. No.
But that's what I mean. But a lot of people out there, right? What they think is, right? Oh, which it was a mistake on our behalf what we did, and in your investment there,
Well,
we didn't know you were going to get out of the company.
well,
But the point is, you cannot sell your shares because they never settled in your account.
No.
Where, as we know,
But
other
technically,
people did
yeah,
sell
but
them.
theoretically, I don't want to go into the legal
No,
thing
of
because.
course not. By the way, we're having a candid chat.
But basically, it was a good thing they didn't settle actually. And
Exactly, yeah.
And can I just say, and this is for all the lunatics like, all the nice people out there, the reason I basically sold Sefton the first time around. Let's get some, the Sefton.
Yeah, by the way, I was on the phone to you that night.
Well, exactly. But the
I
reason
remember that. I remember that
was, okay, look up Rule 9 of the sort of takeover panel about New World Oil and Gas.
Oh,
And
yeah,
basically,
that's right, yeah.
they said I had to buy this company. And so
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
do you do when you have to buy a company? You have to go and find some money. And what do? Well, a good idea is to sell shares you're in profit in. And that was the reason I sold Sefton. It wasn't the reason that I thought it was the highest point. It was absolutely... And
Well, it wasn't, by the way, I must admit, at that time it wasn't the highest point. When you sold, it wasn't the highest point.
Well,
But
what was the highest point then?
it went up to it went to 0.39.5.
Oh, right.
That was the highest
Right,
point. That was the
30,
highest
yeah,
point.
something.
That was the highest
Yeah.
point. Because I remember I came down. I think it was to the it was either the UK or the Masters show for Sefton. I came down to represent them, and
yeah,
that's
and
where
the other
it was.
thing, and all these nonsense,
Excuse me.
and basically all these sort of, what was it, Tweetgate or whatever it was, you know, I call it Tweetgate. You know, when you're on Twitter, this is called the stock market. Prices can change every minute, every hour of the day, and you can change your opinion within 1 hour of a trade.
But that's trading.
But that's trading. So, you know.
But.
Yeah.
I've got to go back to that Sefton thing. That's
Yeah,
a funny
okay,
story
alright,
now,
okay.
because I remember I was on the phone to you that night at
Right.
5:45 in the evening, and we were
Right.
chatting away, and you were
Yeah.
typing away.
I was.
Yeah. And
Was
then and you said to me, "Oh, I'm doing this. I'm selling that because of New World Oil."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." You pressed the button, and you said, "Don't worry, an RNS won't come out for ages."
Yeah.
And Raylene Whitford must have been sat in the office, and she just like pushed it out 6:15 in the night.
Probably.
She did. I remember it vividly.
I can't comment on anything to do with
I remember
that.
it,
But that was one good thing. We've done a positive thing. We've done the requisition of the. So I think it's an achievement of the shareholder democracy taking over basically the will of the shareholders, and I'm just the
Oh, is this Sefton?
Sefton.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, this was later on. We're talking about later on.
Yeah.
Is and I said,
A lot of people
I'm
lost
just
money there, by the
exactly.
way.
But the thing is, what people don't realise
Lost
that
money.
if we hadn't done that,
It would have went under.
everybody would be under. So it's a very good chance of coming back. And as I say, it's all under Team Clem. I'm just a shareholder.
I'm trying to get hold of him actually.
Right.
That's,
So we're all helping. He's now private.
but I did. I sent him an email, and anyway, I'm trying to get hold of him.
Right.
And what I want Clem to do is just give some clarity to the situation, because a lot of people are locked in. So that's
Well, I'm the biggest one. I mean, look.
I know everybody forgets about that.
Everybody thinks somehow.
I've only got 16 quid now.
I've got 30%.
Yeah, it's true.
Jesus.
By the way, a lot of people. Well, no, joking aside, people are watching this.
Yeah.
Obviously, people, you know what I mean? They over leveraged.
Well,
They're lost.
but if they overleverage, at the end of the day, if you have to, this is the thing. You
don't
have
gamble
to,
when you can't afford to lose,
exactly.
like,
But
you know what I mean?
so let's
You know what I mean?
move forward, and this is one of the things we're doing this at Christmas time, and look into the new year for more positives. But what else? What other companies would you like to chat about apart from those ones or the topical ones?
I don't know, to be honest. I think the Sefton one was probably the worst one for us. We got the new thing was bad for you, because obviously that was me. That was me. I was doing what I was doing.
I didn't know, it was good money though. Probably good profit there. So.
And then obviously, by the way, listen, I got him into Sefton. It was me.
Sefton,
I was the one who phoned you up because you didn't know what was going on, and I said, "Oh, I'll have a look at this." So then you went into that. Then you started doing the New World Oil thing.
I can't.
And then you said,
to
"Right,
be
Alex,
fair,
I've got to get out
that's
of there."
prehistory. I can't be.
I remember.
Yeah, well.
Now I blame myself for that.
I don't know. I can't really remember that far back. I can remember other things, but there's been so many. The trouble is with that, it's been so many different things. But I think
It's been a funny year, by the way.
It's been a funny year. It's been
2016.
Emotional in the sense of big highs, big lows for me. I think the same you can say for you with investments, and maybe through different things. It's different.
And here's another thing for you as well, which I find now. The do I've just been to tonight with Big Gib, by the way, excellent do.
Right.
You've got these young kids now coming up on the block, and they're doing what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
and I think social media now. It's directors' talks. Name whatever you want. It's moving now. I think the power base is moving away from that, and it's actually going. You've got a guy on Twitter who's like got 2,000 followers, 3,000. It all stacks up. And when this guy goes on Twitter, and by the way, the point with these guys, what I'm talking about is, obviously I was socialising with them tonight. Their names are going out in RNSs. And they're actually holding stock in these companies.
Well, they are, but they're tiny little companies. I mean,
but there's some of them. But honestly, Chris, if you look at some of them are little tasty companies.
Well, they are.
They have a lot of potential.
I think the thing is, I think some of them need to, enjoy it but don't get too because I'm living proof.
Yeah, don't get over leveraged.
I'm living proof. I've been in this game 21 years. A lot of these people have just done it for a couple of years. They're doing well now. I'm telling you, I've been through boom and bust. I've been through making £1 million loss like that. I've been through making 15 million like that. So, to me,
just keep your feet in the ground.
Just keep your feet on the ground, because if you start thinking you're the greatest person, or something like ego,
that's when it's going to happen.
That's when you're going to go that, and you will do that. So the thing is, the way I manage it is, I've got, as I say, I'm in commercial property. I'm doing other things. I'm in oil and gas in little bits, but I'm pulling out, and I'm hopefully next year. What I'm going to do is go to Indaba. That's the mining thing, if people don't know. That's for sort of seven days. Yeah. We have a bit of fun out there, and just have a bit. I mean, the next 6 months, I think there's been a lot of heated discussion all around which we're not really getting into now, about all different sort of Twitteries and this year. And I think it would be nice for all of us all to relax going into Christmas and New Year, and just take a break and say, you know what, let's just all relax next year and just try and do what we're supposed to do, and let's all make money together.
Yeah, exactly. Make money.
Instead of saying, let's all get into sort of stressful situations, or not stressful, not stressful, not necessarily trading stressful situations. But
you got me on the drink, by the way.
But right, all these sort of hassles of sort of, I don't know, recording people on telephones, or writing nasty letters, or all this nonsense.
I know, but it's like
it's weird. It's been
me, don't you? Yeah.
Well,
you know me.
21 years, I've never had any of that, and this year's been on. But I think the reason is, it's just like when I wouldn't say, I'm not being ego and saying I'm a top dog, but when it's a bit like the old cowboys. If you're the best gunslinger, there's always another one that wants to shoot you. The old Wild West.
It'll never change.
And it'll never change, and that's
never
good.
Change.
It's like rutting stags and all the rest. But because I've been one of the leading people for it's been a long time, hasn't it? Since you know me, it's about 50,
with the oil and gas, yeah.
We've
shared, haven't we?
And I'm just sort of taking a little break for.
We need to get back to oil and gas.
We do, but we want to get back when it's sort of rising. But all I can say is, the future's positive. The future is positive in the long term. It's going to bottom and it's going to start going up. But what I would say is, there could be some more pain to come. There might not be, but I think $30 is definitely going to be the bottom of Brent, and 25 WTI. Hopefully we'll never get there, but I'm just saying that's worst case.
I think Saudi Arabia, the GDP.
Well, they're doing that this week.
But their GDP, I don't know. I just can't see how they can prolong this.
No,
seriously.
I don't.
They're hemorrhaging money.
I know.
Absolutely hemorrhaging. They're just like. They're giving it away for nothing.
Well, no.
I know the world's afloat with oil. Crude.
Hopefully,
it's
crazy.
It
is crazy. But I think they'll sort it out. I mean, I think I was on Tip TV. If you look on my Tip TV things, there's piles on my theories of what's going to happen and what's going to happen. And I've been a bit of a bear on oil for a little bit, but the thing is, I am. At the heart of me, I'm always an optimist, and I'm going to be positive next year. It's going to definitely turn around in 2016. That's one good thing, but I think it's going to be the second half.
If you've stuck with us this long, you've got a heart like a bear.
You have, but if you're the only thing is, if I had lots of money today, what were you going to invest in? You really going to invest in biotech and pharmaceutical and technology,
which is about.
Yeah, but it's not a bit, isn't it? The old saying when it's
Reynolds on Saturday.
Yeah, I know that.
I was chatting to him.
My theory is, if you go back into the moons of history, what was it? Everybody was investing in technology and nobody was investing in gold. And what happened?
Yeah, that's true.
Technology crashed, and what happened to gold?
Yeah.
So, you know, and what happened to oil? So
.com in 2000.
look. The thing is,
Yeah.
all I would say is look back into the past to find the future, and especially around 2008 crash. And if you look at the charts and look at the things, you'll see why. So I think we can round it off by saying we're positive going into the future. We've had an interesting time in 2015, and 2016 looks.
It's been different.
It's been different. It's been different.
I'm like that. I'm like a sandwich in between everybody.
Well.
It's absolutely torturous.
Well, I don't know.
Really
I honestly,
torturous.
I know Einstein's thing. There'll be peace and calm will come soon.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's just karma though with the negativity everybody else is watching.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely stupid. It's
Well,
stupid.
it is. That is. But I've actually.
I've had this
from a
conversation with everybody.
From a personal point of view,
Stupid.
I've always, I've all these articles and things.
You've become so famous. It's unbelievable.
I've got to thank Tom for it because he's made
Really?
my famous thing. Everybody, I get far better girlfriends now because of Tom and this market abuse. It's going down really well.
I can't believe you still talk to me. I thought you'd be like dead famous.
Yeah, well, I am. I
Yeah,
have.
so famous, yeah.
Well, no, I have had a few. I'm going to write the book. Someone wants me to do the book. So I better thank Tom for that. That looks like I'm going to make a mint on that. But anyway, I shouldn't say that. That's an exclusive. That is about the book.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it is. So and then it's the film.
Hold on a minute. You're joking. Hugh Grant?
Well,
Oh,
it
he's
could
too
be.
old, isn't he?
No, he could be Hugh Grant.
He's too old.
He could be.
He's too
But
old.
anyway,
Don't even mention Liz Early.
Yeah, Liz Early. Yeah. She lives with me.
I know she
lives
does.
with me. That's the
Don't
only thing.
mention Liz Early.
I met her, she's
I know,
alright,
yeah.
she's alright, Ledbury, yeah, bumped into her. Anyway, don't go in my personal life, thank you.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
Don't get annoyed if you watch this, Tom. I know I was on the piss with you last Friday. Don't get wound up.
Don't worry, what's the time? My God, you sound like Doc Holliday, all these swear words, but it's past
sorry,
12.
I was
It's past
on the
12.
drink. I
Yes.
apologise, sorry.
If
I'll
they're
edit
younger
that
viewers,
out.
but really,
I know.
really,
Younger viewers.
really, younger viewers, if you're under 18, you shouldn't be even trading, so you shouldn't be watching this anyway, so that's all
I
right.
think it's illegal, actually.
Is it?
I don't know.
I
Can
don't
you
know.
do that?
What?
Open an account and trade and trade.
No, well, you can't, so then
Yeah,
that's all
true,
right,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can vote, but you
So-
can't trade shares. That's a good one. Well, I think so. Maybe that's...
Sweet, by the way.
Chris